Macmillan Audio presents The Shadow of War by Jeff Shaara. Read by Paul Michael.
Dedicated to my sister, Lila E. Shaara. To the reader. Those people of a certain age, including me, have some recollection of what transpired in October 1962. For a period of less than 2 weeks, there was genuine fear, if not outright terror, that the two superpowers, the United States and the Soviet Union, were about to unleash a nuclear holocaust, an event the world had long feared, but had not yet experienced. This is that story, told from both sides, from the White House to the Kremlin, from ships at sea to a family absorbing what they're hearing on the evening news. Most of this story is told from the points of view of 3 principal characters. Robert F. Bobby Kennedy is the abrasive and hard-nosed brother of the newly elected president and, in many ways, is the most trusted adviser his brother John has. Though officially he is the Attorney General of the United States, he is directly involved in the discussions affecting this crisis, discussions heated and otherwise, that take place in the White House and elsewhere, decisions that affect history. Nikita Khrushchev is officially the first secretary of the Communist Party, more commonly referred to as the chairman of the Presidium, premier, absolute leader of the Soviet Union. It is his plan to plant nuclear missiles in Cuba, under the assumption that he can do it discreetly, and that once the installation is completed, the United States will not object. He is wildly mistaken on all counts. Joseph Russo is a professor of English at Florida State University, lives with his wife and 2 children in Tallahassee, Florida. Politically, he supported Kennedy for president in a community where Kennedy's opponent, Richard Nixon, had carried most of the vote. He begins to understand the different attitudes of the people around him toward a world where nuclear missiles are an everyday fact of life. There are other characters as well, Russian and American, essential to the telling of this story, a story that spreads from Washington to Moscow to Havana, Cuba, and beyond. It is a story based on the fear that much of the world experiences while the two sides wrestle through issues, claims, and promises, always with the threat that no one will survive. As with every story I do, this story is told in a personal way, the dialogue and thoughts coming from the characters themselves. My research always calls on the words of those characters, their memoirs, diaries, etc., or of those of the people around them, the people who were there. In this case, I had one advantage I've not experienced before. One of those witnesses was me. Please indulge me as I offer a profound thank you in several directions. My longtime friend and now agent, Doug Grad, was responsible for introducing me to a new publisher, St. Martin's Press. There I have now worked on 2 books with editor Keith Kachla and publisher Sally Richardson, and we've established an excellent working relationship. I offer them all a hearty thank you. And once again I must thank my wife Stephanie, who has aided me throughout this process, as she does every time. Amazingly, as I complete each chapter of the manuscript, she listens with perfect attention as I read aloud every word. That exercise is enormously helpful to me, but it requires stamina on her part, and care. If you did not live through the events in this story, I hope you will recognize and perhaps appreciate just how dangerous a time this was. The threat of nuclear holocaust was very real, and the threats could not be hidden from the American and Russian public. If you are too young to have lived through this saga, I hope you'll find it.
Sample complete. Ready to continue?